Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 12th March 2018. The first issue in news is regarding the search again for a medium multi-role combat aircraft. As we are aware, the Union government had scrapped the deal signed by the previous government for the procurement of 126 Rafale aircrafts after a government-to-government deal with France to procure 36 Rafale fighters in a flyaway condition. This decision to procure a fighter aircraft had taken almost 2 decades, and the scrapping of the deal has set back the process by the same quantum. The Indian Air Force has a sanctioned strength of 42 squadrons but is currently down to just 31 squadrons, which could go down drastically if no newer inductions in the coming years. The issue is important because defense analysts have time and again warned about a possibility of a two-front war with Pakistan and China at the same time, for which the current number of squadrons in the Indian Air Force will not be adequate. Therefore, we have to wait and watch how swiftly the government can complete the process of finding a new fighter aircraft to strengthen the capabilities of the Indian Air Force. With that, let's look into the next issue, which is an editorial regarding the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Syria. As we know, recently an agreement was reached between the armed groups in eastern Ghouta and a United Nations delegation to evacuate some militants from Ghouta to Idlib, a province in northwestern Syria which is under the control of the rebels, mainly terrorist organizations having their links to the Al Qaeda. This is a welcome development because over the past month, the rebels have refused to strike any deal with the government even after repeated bombardment, killing at least 1,000 people by using the people there as human shields. Even though around 4 lakh people are stuck in this Ghouta province, neither the Syrian government nor its Russian backers are paying any attention to the human suffering because the Russians justify the attack by citing of certain internationally designated terrorist organization. In this regard, the recent agreement between the rebel groups and the UN delegation is an opportunity for Russia and the Syrian government to cease the mutual hostilities and engage with other armed groups in order to protect the innocent civilians. Given the past experience in liberating eastern Aleppo and the fact that the rebels are unable to get any meaningful support, the sooner the government forces and the armed gangs reach the common ground for evacuation, the better it will be for hundreds and thousands of people in the region. Now let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the founding conference of the International Solar Alliance. As we know, the International Solar Alliance aims to augment the solar energy potential of the tropical countries. Towards this end, India has announced one of the world's largest investment plans by offering a $1.4 billion line of credit, which will cover 27 projects in 15 countries, thereby boosting the much required financial power to the solar sector. The move will help in addressing one of the key issues highlighted by the French president, which is the challenge of funding and making solar power more affordable. Given India's commitment to augment its renewable energy capacity under the Paris Accord, this is a welcome development highlighting India's commitment to tackle climate change. Now let's look into the other issues in news. The first one being experience of other countries which have legalized passive euthanasia. As we know, recently Supreme Court of India legalized passive euthanasia as well as living will of an individual suffering from terminal illness, thereby giving an individual the right to dignified life and freedom to choose how he or she should be treated in case of terminal illness. The decision has evoked mixed response from various activists fearing that the provision could be misused. In this regard, experience from countries like Switzerland, Germany, and a dozen states in the United States of America suggests that the actual number of assisted suicides or passive euthanasia remain very low, thereby highlighting that even people with severe ailments are not misusing the legal provision. However, we have to wait and see the impact of the decision in the Indian context in the coming days. Till then, let's look into the next issue, which is regarding the initiation of a special audit of state-owned banks by the RBI. This comes in the backdrop of large number of scams being unearthed in the banking sector, starting from the multi-crore PNB scam. For further details on how the scam took place, the failure of the regulatory mechanism, and the recent introduction of the Economic Offenders Bill, please go back and watch my previous news analysis video. With that, I wrap up today's news analysis. Do share this content if you like it. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.